Hi all, today I'm going to be speaking about Venn diagrams with three categories. Okay, this is a topic many students tend to struggle with due to the fact that we have to work with a lot of numbers, but can become very simple if we put some simple algebraic laws to use. Let's first look at the example and see what we can fill in immediately. Okay, so we have 100 students in a class. 52 of the students do physics, 30 students do math, 10 students do physics and French, 15 students do math and physics, 5 students do math and French, 2 students do all three, and 1 student does none. How many students just do French? Okay, looking at this example, this can be very intimidating to a lot of students because you've just been given a lot of numbers and not really any inclination of what order to do it with. But here, I'm going to give you a step-by-step process to make this a lot easier. The first step we do is that we see if there are any values outside these three circles here. So just so that it's obvious that we have the top circle is physics, the bottom left circle is math, and the bottom right circle is French. Okay? Do we have any students that aren't in any of these circles? Yes, we have one student that does none. So we can just fill him in outside the circle there. Let me just make that a bit better. Okay, so we have one student that does none. Okay, now that we've got him out the way, okay, the way to handle Venn diagrams is to start in the middle and then slowly move your way outwards because lots of the numbers overlap and you have to subtract values from each other as you move outwards. So the next thing we have that we have 2 students do all 3 subjects. So we can put that in here, put the number 2 in here. Okay, so we have 2 students that do all 3 subjects. Okay. Next thing is to move on to the other overlap. So we have math and physics, physics and French, math and French. Okay, let's first look at this. Okay, 5 students do math and French. Okay, so if 5 students do math and French, okay, the math and French is actually this whole big circle over here. Okay, so we already have 2 students that have done math and French. So we just put, if we have 5 students in total that do math and French, we have to put 3 here because we have to subtract the 2 from the 5. Okay, next we have 15 students that do math and physics. Okay, that will be, I just need to get my pen out. Okay, we have 15 students that do math and physics. So math and physics is over here. Okay, so if we have 15 that do it in total, okay, we have to take the 2 away, so it becomes 15 minus 2, so we have 13 that just do math and physics, okay? So there's 15 in total that do math and physics, but 2 of them do French as well, so it's only 13 do just math and physics. Okay, next we have 10 students do physics and French, okay, so then once again, this is the whole big circle over here. Okay, so if you have 10 students that do physics and French, okay, once again, we have 10 that do physics French, but there's 2 that do all 3, so we go 10 minus 2, so we have 8 that just do physics and French. Okay, so now that we have the middle blocks sorted out, we can start moving on to the big blocks, okay? Let's start with the math, okay? So 30 students do math, okay? So we have 30 students in total do math, okay? But remember, we have 13 that do math and physics, that we've already put down 13 that do math and physics, so we minus 13. We also have 2 that do all 3, so we minus 2 again. Then we also have 3 that do math and French, so we have to minus the 3, and there we'll get 12 students that do just math. Okay? Then moving on to the physics, we have 52 students. Okay, so we have a lot of students that do physics. Okay, so now if we have 52 students that do physics, okay, we have 13 that just do physics and math, so we minus 13. Okay, we have 2 that do all 3, so we minus the 2. And we have 8 that do math and French, so we minus the 8. Okay, and then through that we should get an answer of 29 students that just do physics. So now the question is, okay, how many students just do French? Okay, so we filled in all of our values on this Venn diagram. We're only missing one value over here, the just French students. And how you do this is that you just do it using very simple algebraic laws. Okay, so what we do is that we label French as X. I mean just French as X, okay? Then what we do is that we just sum all these values up, and then it says that we have 100 students that are in the class. So we know that all of these values, everything that we have put down here, has to add up to 100. So let's work it out, okay? So we have X, okay, plus we have 29 kids just doing physics, plus 12 kids just doing math, plus 3 kids doing math and French, plus 2 kids doing all 3, plus 8 kids doing French and physics, plus 13 kids doing physics and math. And then we still have this one here on the outside, plus 1 kid doing nothing. This should all equal to 100. Then to work out X, all you do is that you take all the values that you have on the left-hand side that are numbers, so your 29, your 12, your 3, your 2, and your 8, 13, and 1, and you sum those all together, and you subtract that by 100. And then after doing all that using just simple subtraction, we get X is equal to 32. And yes, and then that is the end of this example. That is how you guys do Venn diagrams. So just to recap, it's important that we first dedicate the kid that is not in any of the circles. Okay, we get him out of there. We make sure that he is still in our sample space, because the square is still part of our sample space. So it's not that he is not part of the sample. He's still part of the sample. He's just not part of these 3 categories. So physics, math, or French. So we still have to add him in. Okay? And then from that point on, you start in the middle and then slowly work your way out to get all the other values of the Venn diagram. And if you follow that, or those set of instructions, Venn diagram should not be of any issue to you. Okay? Hope that was of enough help. I will see you guys.